I'm your host today. My name is Charlene Kalish. I'm a volunteer with the Significant Project. And I want to just take time to introduce our two speakers today that will be walking us through the power of a preview. Renee Keller is involved in special projects for the Office of the President in CCC International. And Renee serves on the expanded leadership team of the Significance Project and connects with our champion leaders in Eastern Europe and LAC. She's facilitated several groups in Orlando and done previews all over the world, from Bolivia to Siberia and to so many places in Europe and Middle East. She's married to Jim Keller, and they have 2 grown married children and five grandchildren. So welcome, Renee. And then our other speaker is Ivan John Liu, and he serves with Cru Singapore for 24 years. That includes high school ministry, young professionals ministry, and presently in the leader clusters lead and the Significant Project in Cru Singapore. He's passionate to equip men and women towards spiritual, relational, and vocational growth. And one of his passions is to help people clarify life issues and life direction. He's married and has 2 children. So welcome, everyone, and we will get started with our presentation.
Thank you very much. We are excited to share with you some points of a preview today and explain kind of what it is and how you can use one in your respective ministries, and how you can share these resources with others. But before we do, let me just share just a few quick slides in a couple minutes to refresh if you're new especially, but to refresh us as to what our resources are all about. So for example, here in the first slide, the Significant Woman and Man of Impact are discipleship resources. The Significant Woman is connecting with God and discovering your life mission. And Man of Impact is living with purpose and significance empowered by God. The evangelistic resources are Soaring for Women, Your Life Journey by Design, and Quest for Men, Pursuing Purpose and Direction, moving from where you are to where you want to be. So the Significance Project, you might find this helpful. Our vision and mission is building movements of multiplying disciples everywhere so that everyone knows someone who truly follows Jesus. 4 key objectives of the life coaching courses are these, and then we will move into previews. So the objectives of these courses are that participants will know their true identity, worth, and uniqueness in Christ, as well as the good works God has called them to do for his glory. Secondly, participants would experience a growing, authentic relationship with the Creator and walk in the power of the Spirit moment by moment. Participants will know their personal mission, how God is asking them to join him in his mission of seeking and saving the lost. And 4, participants would be involved in spiritual multiplication, like living out their mission. And sometimes that includes helping others to know the resources and join a life coaching group. So that's just a quick overall. Let's move into previews. Now, previews can be anything from a small group of people getting together for a half a day, or they can be big events hosted by churches or ministries. But and they can be half a day, they can be 1 or 2 days long, and Ivan will be talking more about that later. But let's just go over some objectives of a preview if you're not familiar with one. First of all, is to give people an idea of what the content of the resource is about. When we first printed Spanish, it was the first language other than English of the Significant Woman about a dozen years ago. The leader with Cru in Ecuador invited some facilitators to come down and share with the women leaders in his country, as well as other Latin American countries, what the course was about and how they could use it in their ministry. It was more of a big picture preview. But as a result, though, those women went back, many of them started groups in their countries, And now as well, Man of Impact is going to be launched at the end of this year in some of those very same countries. So you never know what's going to happen out of a preview, how the Lord's going to touch lives and people are going to be motivated to share with others to help win, build, and send them. The second objective is to help people experience what it's like to be in a life coaching group. You know, our courses are different from Bible studies and book studies, aren't they? We're paired up in twos, so we relate to one another as peer coaches. We relate to the facilitator of the small group, and then we work together as a group over the period of 8 to 10 weeks. So in the previews, people get to see what that's like. They're sitting in groups, they're paired up, they have a facilitator, and they get a feel or a taste of what it's like to be in a life coaching group ongoing after the preview. The third objective is to provide inspiration and motivation to lead a group, join a group, or be an activator in their area, city, or country. You know, I have a friend, Mari, who went back to her country after a preview, and she was with a big organization, but now she's just independent, and she was able to use the courses in her big organization, and now she's able to use it on her own, excuse me, in her independent ministry. So wherever you are, neighborhood, campus, big, small, these courses can help you win and build disciples for Jesus. And then the fourth one is to give vision to ministry leaders to begin life coaching groups to help meet their missional objectives. You heard from Sandra from Croatia during the webinar, and she just took soaring and has used that throughout her country because she feels soaring helps her reach her missional objective of reaching women for Christ. And she did that after she attended a 2-day preview and got a vision for how soaring could be used in her mission. Okay, what will people take away from a preview? They'll be ministered to personally. They will, because the highlights that are shared at a preview really help us connect with the Lord, and they help refresh us and they help encourage us as well as challenge us. So they will be ministered to spiritually when they come to a preview. They will also gain a vision for how to use the resources in their ministry context. I was just emailing, excuse me, with a friend of mine yesterday named Ralph. He went to a preview and he thought this evangelistic course for men would work great in my English classes. He's in a country where he has to, be more careful how overt he is. And so he's been using it in his English classes, and he said this, it helped him transition from teaching English to sharing the gospel, and going through the course helped move the students closer to an understanding of the gospel. So no matter what our ministry context, we can find these courses helpful. And then third, hear stories about changed lives at previews. You can hear how the Lord has used these courses to help change their lives and give them direction in life and help them connect more to Him through either videos or people at the preview. And can I just stop for a second and say these courses aren't magical. It's the Lord has decided to use these courses because they have scripture in them, because the principles are based from the Bible, because we talk about the gospel, we talk about the ministry of the Spirit in someone's life. So it's how He's using these courses because it has His truth in them. And then the fourth thing is be encouraged, at a preview, you can be encouraged to help mobilize others for the mission. I met a woman named Chris in Panama, and she's from Mexico. And she went, but she was going to be leaving the country soon, leaving Mexico. So she took what she learned at the preview back to Mexico and shared it with friends and other leaders. And then a woman named Rosada picked it up from there and has been driving it ever since. She's been using it in all kinds of contexts and groups in her country. So Chris wasn't able to do anything, but she passed like we can do here today. If you're not in a position to host a preview, you can pass on the information to others, and then they can take it as leaders in their ministry context. and help people learn about these courses. And then 5, a preview helps build relationships with one another, especially the longer previews. It's amazing how close you can get in just a few hours or 1 or 2 days by just talking about yourself and your walk with the Lord and learning all these things and having fun together. So it helps build relationships, and there's many ongoing friendships as a result. So practical tips, just real quickly before I turn it over to Ivan. And Ivan, by the way, has some videos, fun videos to share with us. So that'll be great. But a preview is not a model for doing the course. It's but a way to experience some highlights, to gain information and direction, to join, lead, and multiply groups. The resources are primarily done in small groups for over 8 to 10 weeks. Sometimes a small group is in your living room. Other times they're at a big event, but you're in small groups around tables. The length of preview options, Ivan will be talking more about this, but half day, full day, 2 or 3 days. The longer the preview, the more motivated and equipped people are. For more information, you might want to take a note, take a picture, or write this down. This is an email, significance. I'm sorry, there's no dot. There's supposed to be a dot there. significance.project@cru.org. And if you email us there, we can send you all kinds of documents, answer any questions you have or anything. So, but it's significance.project@cru.org. Okay, and then lastly, timing of a preview is usually the end of a ministry cycle, or the beginning of a end of a yearly ministry cycle, or the beginning of a yearly ministry cycle. Or if you're not in an official ministry, the fall and the spring, those are good times to take people through, to have a preview, so then you can launch groups right after that. And then presenters and facilitators. It's best to have at least 2 presenters up front. And then a facilitator is at the table, and she's running point with her 8 people. Tables of 8 is best, including the facilitator. But anyway, that's just some overview of previews and how the Lord has decided to use them in just a few people's lives. And I'll turn it over to Ivan, and thank you very much, Ivan.
Thank you, Renee. So for my part, I'll be talking about how do we decide on the duration of the preview and the audience that we are reaching through the different lengths of the preview, and what are the focus for each of this length of the preview. So this is a picture of a group of men seated together. So there's usually a table facilitators and seated around other participants. So we have a small place. So this preview is done in actually a very small place with about 40 over people. So this is a picture of how a preview is done. So this is a half a day preview, which I will start with. So the question is, how do we decide on the duration of the preview? Okay, it depends on the audience we are reaching and the focus that we want to be achieving, or the objective we want to be achieving. So audience we are reaching, so that's a key consideration, objective or focus we have in mind. So this is how we can decide on the length of the preview. So as mentioned by Renee, all the documents for how each of those length of preview are available to us. So you just need to write in if you want to just have an idea of how to facilitate that. So all the instructions are given, even the length, the suggestion, what activity to do, how to do it. So all the information are provided for us. So for now, it's just a big picture view, and also some ideas of how you can actually be doing a preview and deciding where you are, your starting point. Okay, audience we are reaching. So a few of them, those who would like to know more about the course. So generally people would like to know about the course. And there are some who are very ready to embark on a course because they have heard about it. So they just want to find out more. And there's an opportunity for them to sign up to start a course. And there are those who have been through the course. So a preview kind of gives them an experience of how they can actually be facilitating course itself. So that is also one of the purpose of a preview. Okay, and there are those who are influencers and they can activate others to use the resource. So these are the audience that we are reaching out to. So it could be just people who wants to start a course. They may not be leaders or influencers, but there are people who are very excited about the course and they want to figure out about God's purpose for them, God's mission for them. And there are those who are leaders who actually can do more than just attend a course. They can bring it to their city, they can bring it to their ministry context, and they can also activate others to start courses. Okay, let me do a half-day preview, both in terms of the audience and the focus, and I will share a story. So the focus for half-day preview being half-day, or sometimes it's about 2 hours. So it gives interested participant an idea about the resources. So if you do a mixed group, so you'll be sharing the man of impact and the significant woman. At times, if you have the significant couples, you can also share about the significant couples for the discipleship. Generally, the evangelistic resource preview is separate from the discipleship. So you can also do so for the soaring and quest resources for a half-day preview. So generally, we would like to share stories of life change. So as you tune into the webinar itself, there's a lot of stories of life change. So you can just be asking past participants to share their stories. So this is what we will do. Okay, then it provides an opportunity for people to sign up for a life coaching group. So always give them the opportunity because they are interested and they are ready. Okay, so give them the opportunity to sign up. So set up the course itself before the preview and have the facilitators ready so that when they come for a preview, they can sign up for one and start joining one. Okay, the who to attend. Okay, those who want to know more about the course and those who are ready to embark on the course. Okay, actually, if let's say this is your first preview, you can also be inviting leaders who wants to use the resource to reach their missional goals. So this is also possible. Okay, so this is a testimony from a Malaysian staff who has been facilitating Men on Impact after a recent conference in 2020. So the whole Malaysian team, they are very excited about the resource. So this staff, Albert, started facilitating groups, and he really facilitated a lot of groups during this whole COVID season. So this is his story of how he actually used a end of course celebration. So towards the end of the course, there's generally a celebration time, a completion of course time. So that is how he will use it to actually share about the resource, the Men on Impact resource, and give invited participant friends an opportunity to sign up. So let's tune into his story.
Hello, I'm Albert Chai from Malaysia. I would like to share with you how can we use our MOI Men of Impact group, the celebration, to share as a preview for those who are interested to join. This is a MOI group picture. I want to thank God allow me to journey with about 6 pastors to have this MOI group. This is very important as we journey with our brothers together. We must provide a very good environment for them. Especially what we want to see is there's a trust, openness, and learn from each other, and excited and sense of belonging. Since if we can provide these elements for them, I believe all the brothers and pastors, they will enjoy together. Since they enjoy while we are celebrating together, they will invite their friend to come. I think this is very important. So I thank God. After we finish our time together, now we come to this celebration and this fellowship. So I decided to them, ask them to invite their friend to come. Thank God, because of their involvement and belonging, sense of belonging, they invite many of them to come. More than 30 of them. In between, they have 12 pastors. During that celebration, right, we have icebreaker, worship, and testimony. While they share their testimony, I will share their picture and also write out their personal life statement ask them to read at the end, and also they share their story. After they share their testimony, I will share the introduced man of impact to them. And then after finish, and then divide into two groups of breakout room. One room is for pastor only, another room is for church leader and brothers, so that we can have very personal and dialogue with each different groups and their needs. So because of that, thank God, we have another 8 pastors, they register, they want to join our group. So we want to thank God.
This is a creative way to have a preview. So instead of creating another event, so because there's a celebration and of course, so actually you can invite the participants' friend to join the celebration where the participant actually share their stories and excite the other participants, excite the invited guests to consider signing up for a course. Okay, so let's look at the one-day preview. So this is slightly longer. So the focus is a bit, you can add in a little bit more focus. Okay, the audience are leaders who would like to experience and embark on a course. So right now, we are looking at more leaders, okay? Leaders who would like to experience and embark on course, and also leaders to activate others to use the resources. So the focus in conjunction to the audience is that we want the leaders to experience a live coaching group and also to embark on a course. We want to share vision on how they can use the resource in their spheres of influence. So these are the two broad focus for the one-day preview. So we have a story, 2 stories in fact. One is a Singapore lady who is in the marketplace. She attended a one-day preview. Let's listen to her story.
Hi everyone, this is Pauline from Cruise Singapore Significant Project. This is a one-day preview that we organized in August 2013 that Tricia attended. Tricia works in the finance industry and she served in the marketplace. Her testimony after the preview. It is an answered prayer for me to be exposed to this resource. It's easy to use. It imparts valuable biblical principles to help women to live significant lives and to make a difference in the world they lived in. In October 2021, Tricia is an executive member with our Significant Project Singapore. She's a trainer and facilitator with significant women as well as soaring. Tricia also coordinates the Aspire Mental Hub, which is part of the Significant Project Ministry in Singapore here. This picture shows women from the preview that Tricia attended and also led in her office straight after the one-day preview that they had in 2013. At the Aspire Mental Hub, Tricia leads a day retreat with graduating students as well as working professionals on soaring with your life design. At the retreat, they explore the 3 key questions on who am I, why am I here, and where am I going? Interested participants from this retreat are invited to join coaching groups for the remaining sessions of Soaring and Quest after the retreat. Besides ministering with TSP in Singapore, Tricia ventured beyond the source. In 2015, she and another volunteer minister at Manado, Indonesia, where she conducted the TSW and Soaring Facilitators training for the staff and volunteers there. In 2020 January, Tricia attended the Antalya Turkey Economic Summit. There she has the privilege to be able to contribute what she learned from Singapore as she participates in our ministry here, and also to learn from champions from other countries, the best practices that different ones of us are using in this ministry.
Hi, my name is Lily Skok. I'm from St. Petersburg, Russia. This year I have participated in the one-day preview on the significant woman, and I'm really thankful for this opportunity to get to know about this course. So I serve the teachers in St. Petersburg. And at the moment I knew about this course, I just thought, oh, this is what we needed. So I really like that about this course, that the teacher think about her life mission, not just that he is for teaching just children, but there is something more in his life mission, in her life mission. And I really like about this course. And also I like the discipleship in the course. This was really that we needed in our group of teachers. Now we have small groups of 2 or 3 teachers within our teachers group, where we serve each other, meet, support, pray for each other, and help to determine our life mission. So thank you very much for this resource.
Okay, so these are the 2 stories for the 1-day preview. So for 2 days preview, because you have an extended time, so there is a lot more things that can be covered within the content itself. So again, it's meant for leaders who would like to experience the course and also to facilitate future courses and to activate others to use the resource. So one of this preview can be very helpful if you already have small groups of men or women who have attended the course and they are ready also to help out to facilitate the course. So during the preview itself, there's upfront facilitators and also there are table facilitators. So those who have been through the course can serve as table facilitators, and they have the opportunity to learn, to model how to facilitate the resource itself, and also through the time to hear stories of how they can be even bring the resource to other people. Okay, so the corresponding focus will be to experience a life coaching group, encouragement to help participants begin groups and facilitate a group themselves, and share vision on how to use the resource in their spheres of influence.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marisol Barrera. I am from Colombia. About 10 or 11 years ago, I attended a 3-day preview of the Significant Woman in Quito, Ecuador. I must say it was one of the most enlightening experiences of my life. In that experience, I met fantastic friends, very intimate, with whom I continue to share today. In this preview, the facilitators took me step by step to discover what I was born for, what I was created for, and how that unique and singular design can be developed to be made available to God at the service of all humanity. That preview, or taste, as we call it before, was explosive for me. When I had my personal mission written, I said, this should be known by my friends, my neighbors, my family. This has to be in my country. So when I arrived in Colombia, I told my friends from the ministry, and immediately we wrote to Carmela Justiniano asking her for help us by bringing the facilitators to Colombia. So in less than 5 or 6 months, we had the seminary ready in Colombia. The first preview for almost 100 women leaders. And then we continue to move forward with smaller discipleship groups step by step. And thus we have seen that the Significant Woman is a powerful tool to win, build, and send. Thank you very much.
So what we have done is we have covered 4 objectives of the preview, what participants can take away from the preview, some practical tips on organizing previews. We have covered quite a fair bit on the 3 durations of previews, both mostly on the audience that we are reaching and also the corresponding focus. And we have heard stories of life change and impact. So this is really what previews can do to activate people's mission and to bring this resource to help other people, both discipleship and reaching the lost. So this is the power of a preview. We hope that this gives you some ideas. So before you leave for your next session, you might just want to write down what are some things that you can do in terms of organizing a preview. your starting point. If you are just starting very without any other people, you might want to start with small groups. If you already have several small groups going, you might want to have a longer preview where you can invite other leaders to come alongside, and also to start equipping them or modeling for them how they can be facilitating a group.